Alright, so it's finally time to start this build. The last episode was just a little bit of an introduction on what we're going to be doing, but in this episode I'm going to try and get everything done when it comes to the motor. So we're going to get the new distributor on, and we're going to get that intake manifold on, and all the other little modifications, but those are the two main things that we're doing. And I mean, they're still going to be like, we're going to do spark plug wires, we're going to do just everything else. So yeah, I'm going to start wrenching on this thing. I'm going to start pulling just stuff off just to make it a lot more accessible. I'm going to take the battery out, I'm going to take the coil out. I'm going to take the spark plug wires out. The firing order is pretty simple. It's the old Ford V8 style, not the new one. So it's like the 1.5 pattern, not the 1.3 one. So yeah. Alright, so I got the coolant drained. This time, probably only some on the ground, most of it in the container. But yeah, I'm going to get the coolant hoses off just to make sure that there's nothing on the thermostat housing. And then I'll try and wrestle with this distributor. But I know like a year ago I tried getting it out and it wasn't happening. So I left it, but this time it has to come out one way or another.
Slide hammer.
Yeah, he's working on JDM Inspire mirrors for his Accord.
Yeah.
Probably not going to be a video on it, so I'm just going to say that.
Yep.
And yeah, so I'm going to get to it. Probably take the carburetor off once I take the distributor out. I just don't want stuff falling in there, but it really doesn't matter because I'm taking the intake out and cleaning in there and scraping all the old gaskets off. So yeah, I'm going to get to it. Oh, look at that! Hey! Hey!
Yeah, came out with the gear.
Yay! Alright, so as you saw, I got the distributor out, got the valve covers off, got the intake manifold off, cleaned the surface up pretty well, just used a razor blade, try to get all that old gasket material off, and then I just hit it with prep ball just to, degrease it and stuff, just to make sure the Honda bond that I will put on it and the new gasket will just be really good. So anyways, over here is the new intake manifold. I'm still gonna put, what's it called? I'm just gonna do prep ball, just like a wax and grease remover, just to make sure there's no any like oils from the factory. It doesn't feel like it's oily, but I'm gonna do it anyways, just to be better safe than sorry. But yeah, here's the intake manifold. Now, something I need to decide. is whether or not, I'm pretty sure I need to put the heater core, because the issue with the distributor that we're putting in, the HEI, is that it's really big and it can hit the like right angle fitting that goes out here. So I'm just literally just gonna like just put it on, no gaskets, no bolts, just gonna place it there, and I'm gonna put the other one, like the distributor, next to it and kind of just see how I'm gonna work that out. So yeah. Damn boy.
Damn is right.
Looks good.
What's up with the divot on the intake?
This?
Yeah.
It's so, honestly, I kind of wish it was even more of that. What it does is it doesn't really matter, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a spacer, like an open one. But what that does is it kind of like just makes the airflow of the carburetor kind of like just like more even out, kind of. I don't know, some bullshit like that. But it's what the air gaps have, and they're just known to be really good streetable. So it just helps it be streetable. I don't know. I'm not one of the engineers that designed these, but I am an engineer, so I mean that's my guess. But yeah, time to get the distributor out. Assault Racing Products. Let's see, this thing has been sitting forever.
About to get assaulted.
I definitely cannot return it. It's been that long. Instructions.
I can't read.
I don't know what an instruction is. Yeah, there it is.
This thing looks massive compared to the old one.
Yeah. It is big. But let me think.
There's gonna be a lot of distributing going on, dude.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, he broke it.
I'm trying to get this plug off, to get the cap off so we can see where the rotor's facing, to make sure that we put it in like top dead center for the test fit. But I need a screwdriver. Look at that. So what I do is, if there's like a spring loaded, I put this in here, I press down, and then I can turn it. And there's 4 of those. You gotta make sure the last one, this thing doesn't fall off and hit the ground, because then you're sure that it will not work.
Nah, we have files.
There we go. Throw that in there. Rotor's facing this way, so what as I bang it on everything.
Well, it went in.
I just came to a realization, this intake blocks off the coolant passage for this side of the head. So yeah.
Nice.
I guess it's fine, but I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Crusher? No.
And this is all for like $150.
Okay, I'm not gonna complain about that.
Eat me, bro. Come on. This is the bowl. All right.
Yeah, I think they're literally Home Depot bowls.
This is the bowl.
You want to look up a torque sequence, or?
I will. I know the torque sequence. I forgot the spec is.
This is not going in nicely. Yeah, it's kind of resisting arrest. Okay, I think
it'll be okay. I do this. Yeah. You can put the. We'll cut.
I completely erased from my memory that we saw a fucking bug them yesterday.
Smoke them?
Smoke them, yeah.
No more bug them.
Yeah.
Smoke them.
Whatever. My fucking luck.
It's hard?
No. That's what I'm trying to avoid right now.
Well, you made it run?
someday that's Steve.
This is not
It's fucking oil, it's 3 in 1.
Fine. Alright, distributor's in. This is going to be spark plug number 1, or cylinder number 1. Now I'm going to be just trying to lay out the wires. Where did I put that? Oh, here it is. So, have this designed for Fords and should just make the wiring and just like cable management of the spark plugs look a lot better. And just like follow closer over here into the distributor. So we'll see how that goes. So I got the wires somewhat like bucked up and ran. The Moroso kit for the Ford is alright. I mean, it looks good on the driver's side, but the passenger side's a little odd. But it does the job, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to figure out which wire goes to which post and the length that I need to make them. I'm going to make them slightly, like, a couple inches longer than they should be, just in case, because when we're going to be clocking this, the wires are going to have some room to move around just to tune it. So here's the plan. I already did half of them just off camera. It's my first time ever making spark plug wires, so I wanted to just get a feel for it, just so I can show you guys how I did it afterwards, not learn with you. So alright, so anyways, on most Fords, the first spark plug cylinder is this one right here on most Fords. This motor isn't original to this car. That's why the firing order isn't 13726548. Instead, it's changed to 15426378. So it's an older style 302. But yeah, anyways, my initial one was here, but now with this distributor, my first cylinder's here. So the way I worked on it, so it's going to go 15426378. I'm just reading it off of just a photo on images. So yeah, anyway, everything is there. Next one I'm going to do is, so it's going to go 1, 5. So I'm just going to take the fifth one. Fifth cylinder, it goes like this. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So fifth cylinder, this one right here. I'm going to follow this wire. It's this one right here. And it's going to be nice like that. I'll give it a little bit of slack. I don't want to make it too tight just because we're still going to have to rotate this thing around. Like, we're gonna have to rotate it around a little bit, a couple degrees, so we want to make sure there's still some slack. So I'll probably do something like that for the amount of slack. I'm gonna take these spark plug wire crimpers. I'm gonna cut it right there, nice and easy. Throw this somewhere, I don't know, feed it to the pigs later. But next step, you want to do like at least ½ inch or so, maybe slightly less, but I think a little bit more than that. These plier crimper things kind of suck, I won't lie, when it comes to stripping these. There's automatic ones. They make automatic one of these, like kind of like when you're doing actual wiring.
There you go.
They make these, but for spark plug wires, but I'm not going to be doing this a lot, so there's no need for that. But yeah, so I did that first cut. I'm going to go around now, find where it was. Did I spin it yet? Kind of, yep, and then pull it off. As you see, there's still a little bit of those like threads and fibers, so I'm just gonna clean it up by hand with the razor blade.
I think you should paint it yellow and let it stick out so it looks like you have Kevlar.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just a couple more threads to do. Alright, so that's about it. So next step, now depending on your distributor, these sort of like universal kits come with different kinds. So for this type of distributor, I need these boots and these like crimp things because it fits for these styles of distributor. But in my case, where's my old distributor?
Over there.
Okay, with my old distributor, this obviously wouldn't work because it's different. This is like a male type end, and then this is a female type end, so they come with different sorts, so you just want to make sure. So this side would work with these. But we're using a different sort of distributor, so yeah. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to start the crimping process without the actual wire in it. It's a little bit annoying. Kind of like that. Next, I'll take this, and I want it here. So I need to know to flip it up here, put that on, and that'll make it look nice. So yeah, you want about 1/8 of an inch of the insulation to be protruding. Let me just take this on, crimp, and squeeze tightly. And boom, that's that. Next, I'm gonna take the boot, take a little bit of dielectric grease.
Definitely didn't find this on the ground in front of the AutoZone.
Yeah, just put it over here. It just makes it a lot easier to get it over the wire. Now you don't want to get this dielectric grease into this part, all right? Just because, well, you want to explain it, Mr. Electrical Engineer?
Sure. So dielectric grease is always an insulator, and the mistake most people make, right? So when they install a new battery, they go to AutoZone, they get those kits for the insulators. What they do is they're gonna just smear their entire contact with dielectric grease, and then put the actual terminal covers on, and then their car won't start. And that's because dielectric grease is an insulator, and it mainly prevents your contacts from becoming corroded. So once you actually put it on, you want to smear it over top of everything, so it doesn't oxidize.
So you want to make sure you don't have that on the inside, because this is actually going to be connected to the distributor. And if you have that, well, on the inside it's going to be insulating it from that, so you're not actually going to have like voltage pass through. So yeah, so when I put it on, I kind of make sure to keep it up like this, and then it just pushes it on, and most of the grease stays out of it. And slow and steady. Checking the progress. Fucking hell. Almost there. And there we go. So as you can tell,
Hold on, shadow.
you can see, well, you can just see that end stick out. We put it in, it clicked, and we're good to go. So that's 5 of them done. Just 3 more to go. I'll throw you on the tripod, make it go by quick, and that's probably gonna be it for this episode.
Alright, so I did do this off camera yesterday because I was working on my cord mirrors, but what I did is I pulled the master cylinder off, and the 84s, they're notorious for having shit brakes, and that's due to a combination of the system that they chose for actually, you know, the brake booster on the master cylinder, but most importantly the rear brakes, which are drums. I pulled this off because when we initially replaced everything, when Alex first got the car, we never bench bled it. We never even knew that bench blading was a thing. Until I came across this issue with my SVO to where I absolutely had no brakes at all. I looked it up, you're supposed to bench bleed it. So I bench bled the SVO. I bought 2 kits, which we actually have in here. Which is this, and you literally just put it in the holes for the brake lines, and then feed it right back into the master cylinder, and then you just push in the cylinder until there's no more air. That's one way of bleeding it. Another way of bleeding it is you literally just put in same exact things, but they're plugged off, and you just keep pumping it until they're, once again, it's just stiff until you can't push the master cylinder.
Yeah, so hopefully the brakes will be even better than they were before. I mean, they weren't really anything to write home about, but they worked. So hopefully this makes it better. Another thing we also did, we painted it black just because when we got it, it was brand new, it was all nice looking, and then next day it rusted over because it was just iron. So yeah, another thing, well, as you see, the wire is finished. Now I wish I could have made it a little neater. Like I would have made it tighter, but the thing is, we still have to tune it and stuff. But maybe a couple years in the future, when I upgrade and get even better spark plug wires, like 11 mil or whatever, like 10.4s or 11 mils.
That's when you get that six-figure job, dude.
Yeah, when I get the six-figure job, and when I get a real fucking distributor as well, like an MSD with like those boxes, ignition boxes and stuff.
Yeah, the two-step boxes.
Yeah, the two-step boxes. But yeah, another thing we did was we wired up this. We're not sure if the way we wired it is gonna work, so we'll talk about it in the future when we get this car started. Basically, tack wire, 12-volt ignition wire. So yeah, that's about it. We're not gonna talk about it here. We'll talk about it if it works.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all for this episode. Next episode, we'll get the car in the air, and we'll have the motor hanging, and we're gonna be doing the K-member and all the suspension in the front.
I'm hyped for that.
Yeah, that one shouldn't be too bad to do. Hopefully, the rag joint is gonna suck just because there's a lot less room because there's something called long tube headers on this car.
I'm a pro at this, don't worry.
But yeah, all right, we'll see you guys.